in the blacks. Our officials, Matt Obias, Andrew Barksdale, and J.D. Rawls. And the tip belongs to the Seahawks.
Seahawks will come out and try to play through their three guards. You know, Sims is their catalyst at the point guard position, number 30 in black.
Turnovers an issue on Thursday against Elon, and here comes the Tribe. Taken right back by the Seahawks in a 2-on-1. They get them started on the break. Mike Okaru.
They're one of the best running teams in the conference, and they thrive off of forcing turnovers. On the other hand, William & Mary, the worst team in terms of ball security, last in the conference with averaging 16 turnovers a game.
Team that's been learning with youth. See the note on the bottom of your screen just a moment ago. 80% of their scoring coming from freshmen and sophomores. Now 8 on the shot clock for the Tribe. Carroll has been an X factor for this group, a little bit off. And a foul from behind on Lewis.
When you have a team like William & Mary that's young and has an issue turning the ball over, as you see, they're still here. Good hands by Phillips. 2-on-1 is an easy decision to get the ball to one of your better finishers in Okaru for the first basket. Offensively, a lot of ball reversal action for the Seahawks. They want to shift the court and make the defense shift so they can get an angle to the rim.
Looking for that angle here, and out of bounds called on the drive. Goes back to the Tribe as Jamari Harvey getting the start today. Just a little bit too much real estate.
William & Mary is a primarily man-to-man team. Defensively, they're going to play a gap defense and try to use their length to keep the Seahawks out of the paint.
Rice rejected. That was Shaquem Phillips on the track down defense. And UNCW, the staple to the program is defense. They're in the top 3 in the conference in scoring D.
Well, they play guard. They play a 5-guard lineup. As you see the block here, good rotation by Phillips. Their biggest guy is 6'7". You see the 3-ball.
A welcome sight for the Tribe. They hit just 5 in the loss to College of Charleston on Thursday.
There's a little adjustment. William & Mary now in the zone, mixing their defense up, trying to keep the Seahawks off balance.
Here's Sims. He's combined for 37 over the last 2 games, and with 6 on the timer. We talked to you about how Kaplan Arena's been a bit of a haunted house in the past for the Seahawks. They've been out of bounds twice.
Yeah, it's the 3rd turnover for the Seahawks, who come into this game not really having an issue with turnovers. They only average about 9 or 10 a game. And I can't even say these are forced turnovers. It's just not being aware of where you are on the court, stepping on the sideline twice. Defensively, the Seahawks are playing man-to-man as well. They switch everything 1 through 5.
The Fader can't drop home, but a foul on the box out. That was White fighting for positioning, and James Baker Jr. charged with the foul.
Baker Jr., a graduate senior. He's their 5-man. He's only about 6'6", 6'7". Plays bigger than he is, and he's a dependable guy that started every game this season.
Now the ball fake and the finish. Julian Lewis, the freshman.
Well, he's got length at 6'6", and he's got a chance to continue to improve if he keeps working on his game. That versatility showing through with the nice drive.
Seahawks answer right back. Mike Okaru has started hot.
I really like Okaru. Watching him on tape, he's relentless. He does a lot for this team. He's really good off the bounce, especially when the closeout's going to him. He attacks the feet and attacks and gets in the paint.
Takeo Siddle telling us Okaru's really been resilient this season. Has gone through some droughts offensively, but it's just stayed at it. And here he comes again. Can't finish. And it goes back to the Tribe.
Man, missed opportunity there, but you see the speed and aggressiveness of Okaru, who really thrives in an up-tempo transition game. No full court pressure here, and this is something that the Seahawks like to use off of made baskets, but they'll also do it off of dead ball possessions, especially a team like William & Mary that's shown that they have trouble handling pressure.
Now Dish inside to White, and you can sense what the game plan was from Dane Fisher. It was to attack the low post. That was something he emphasized to us a number of times.
Well, they want to play through White. He's their best player, the 6'9" sophomore. He's got good hands, does a nice job of rolling on the screen and roll action, and you know, they need him to be not just a scorer, but also a playmaker, very good passer for his size on his sophomore year.
He's rocking a mask that Coach Fisher said reminds him of Bane from the Dark Knight series.
Yeah. Tough kid. You know, 7 straight games in double figures. Coach says he's got a good skill set to face up and play, not only make shots from the outside, but he's a good passer as well.
And now a foul on the Tribe on the battle for the rebound. That, by the way, was the second foul on James Baker Jr., so he is out. Amari Kelly checking in for UNCW.
Amari Kelly is a big man, 6'9", junior. Solid big man backup, and that's not the way you want to start if you're Takeo Siddle with your starting senior, James Baker, on the bench for 2 fouls.
Jalen Fornes, the Nicholls State transfer, also on the floor for the Seahawks. Just underway from Kaplan Arena. Now the drive, and that one just bounces out. Second chance here for UNCW. Karu pulls and knocks it down. What a start for Michael Karu.
He's got an aggressive mindset. He's come out in this game, you know, really establishing himself early. He got out in transition a couple times, and now he pulls up from 3. Versatile guard that gives him another weapon on the perimeter.
All 7 for the Seahawks. White can't answer, but he's fouled by Kelly. Well, Michael Karu has set the tone as the Seahawks try to form a bounce back today. The grad transfer from Florida, dialing it up deep in Williams.
Time with the current team to kind of, you know, inspire them and work with them and show them what it takes to get to that next level.
William & Mary has been on the attack, and it continues. Connor Cochera.
Well, aside from the first early turnover, William & Mary is off to a really good start. They're getting the paint touches, they're playing through their bigs, and they're scoring at a high percentage.
Meanwhile, Michael Karu is a one-man show. He has all 9 points.
Well, everything's been off the bounce for Okaru. He's gotten that first step, and he's explosive enough to get the angle to score at the rim. This is where they like to play through White in the pinch post as a passer or a playmaker.
Right off to Cochera. That's the 1-2 punch for this Tribe team, and it's taken away by UNCW.
A nice read by Kelly, fighting over the top and reading that play.
Third turnover by the Tribe. Catch and shoot, and it drops. A left wing 3 for the Seahawks. Jalen Sims getting on the board.
He's the do-everything player. He does it a little bit of everything well for this Seahawk team, stepping right into a shot off the catch with no hesitation.
That was an emphasis by Takeo Siddle to his team in the last 48 hours to take higher percentage shots.
And he was not happy with the way they played versus D-line when they took too many contested shots.
They give it right back this time into the hands of Cochera. Catch and shoot for Rice. We'll go back to UNCW.
You know, one of the things, John, as you know about the ups and downs of a season is how you adjust. Is we watch here, it's a nice screen and roll action, and then a skip pass to Sims, who steps right up and knocks down his first 3. Trying to trap the ball screen and keep the ball out of the middle. William & Mary is. That's how they guard the ball screen, by hedging high or switching.
Karu with 6. To the corner now, 3 seconds on the timer. And a skip pass executed perfectly, and it's a 3-for-3 start from deep as Jalen Fornes catches it.
And every time the Seahawk guards, whether it's Okaru or Phillips, attack off the bounce, they're either creating for themselves or their teammates. Nice drive and kick right there.
An 8-0 run by the Seahawks They went just 9 of 30 from distance in Thursday's loss to Elon. Tribe go back to White. Ben White, one of the most efficient players in the CAA. And great defense again by Amari Kelly.
They trapped him and they swarmed him to keep him from getting that offensive rebound.
How about it? UNCW on an 11-0 run, and they can't miss from downtown. Okaru keeps it rolling.
Well, the ball movement and the playing off the pass, scoring off the pass as opposed to one-on-one has been a great asset for the Seahawks in their early offense.
4 of 4 from 3 are the Seahawks as a blocking foul is called.
Tribe are trying to find themselves, but defensively they have not been able to keep up with the guard quickness and the speed, particularly off the dribble. Keeping your man in front has caused a little bit of confusion in their rotations.
A line change by Dane Fisher with a whole new lineup into the game for the Tribe. Langdon Haddon has just checked in. Julian Lewis back on the floor as that three is short. Miguel Aisa checking into the game, and he gets the offensive board, giving it back to Brandon Carroll. Aisa, the Tribe needed it.
They sure did. That was comfortable looking, pulling, or catch and shoot from Aisa, the junior guard from Madrid, Spain, shooting almost 40% from three.
Collin, 5 for his first 7. He's got 12. His first miss from deep.
You can see the tempo right now is more in the Seahawks, UNCW's favor, playing up, playing faster.
Lewis had that altered. Forns off the dribble.
Forns is another guy who comes off the bench, but he's considered a starter, a big-time shot maker, graduate senior. Has the ability to split the double right there, and they tried to keep him on the side, but he just would not stay. He went straight to the middle and pulled up.
Jalen Forns, he's starting his career at UNCW, transferred to Nicholls State, and comes back to UNCW to close out his career as Brandon Carroll hits it from downtown.
Brandon Carroll, the graduate transfer also from the Bronx. NBA student, outstanding young man that has got a bright future.
And a foul in transition, a trip. UNCW starting hot offensively. And out to the early lead at Kaplan. You are watching college basketball on CBS Sports, presented by Chase Freedom Unlimited. College basketball continues on CBS Sports Network in the CAA with first place UNCW traveling to William & Mary.
Feet. I watched the tape of him earlier in the season when they played Hofstra, and he was picking up Estrada full court. And he doesn't get tired. He plays extremely hard. He's a very, very, athletic, kind of high energy kind of player that thrives in this kind of system.
John Fanta, Tariq Turner. With you here on CBS Sports Network. CAA battle as William & Mary was looking for a goaltend there.
Yeah, Dante had it.
That one shut down by Julian Lewis, and here come the Tribe. Catch and shoot. And they'll go back to UNCW as Lisa is off.
Tribe trying to do a better job of keeping the Seahawks out of the paint. That's been the real issue here is when UNCW gets paint touches, usually something good happens. see if the Tribe can do a better job of staying in front and not giving up any points in the paint.
Horns really lost it. Now 10 on the timer. Now with 5 on the shot clock, it's Sims. Sims pressure. And this is the defensive effort that Dane Fisher was looking for.
A great job by Langdon Hatton, the big man, hedged really high on Sims when the shot clock was winding down. Watch Hatton on the ball screen. He hedges really high right there, and at that point, Sims had nowhere to go. That's a good rotation by the big man, causing the turnover by the Seahawks.
You see that turnover average. The Seahawks have had less than 10 turnovers in 9 games this year. Already sitting today with 6. Extra opportunity now for the Tribe. Here's Hatton, the freshman.
Good help by Okaru, digging down with the double.
Okaru is everywhere, and he helps force the turnover.
He's been all over the court, Okaru has, and defensively he has just as much impact as he does offensively because of the anticipation, the quick hands. He's just everywhere, and he's really set the tone early on for the Seahawk team.
Around the CAA today, already drama. Northeastern gets their first conference win over Towson, so that gives UNCW some cushion at the top.
It does, and that certainly means a lot if UNCW is able to win today.
Oh, the give and a two-hand jam. Horns to Kelly.
And again, the penetration is what opens up the court for Kelly, and every time they get something off the bounce, it's causing the defense to rotate, and guys are cutting to the rim for high percentage shots. You watch it here, and it starts with the quick first step by Forns, and then nice read by Kelly, diving straight to the rim, uncontested, for the high-power dunk.
Shot clock and a double team on the baseline. Deep 3. Tribe 0 for their last 4. Forns. Lewis, freshman from Ann Arbor, Michigan. And a strip. That goes off the leg.
And the Seahawks, when they play 1 through 5 the way they do, as you see the turnover margin there, that tells you a lot right there. William & Mary 9th in the conference in turnover margin. That's one of the issues they've had all season long in terms of struggling to win games. Conversely, UNCW is one of the better teams in terms of taking care of the ball. 6 apiece today, but in terms of tempo, it favors UNCW because they've sped William & Mary up and made them play faster than they want to.
Just going through those learning moments with a young team. It's been the story for the Tribe, who started conference play with a pair of 1-point wins over Hofstra and Northeastern.
Yeah, you know, certainly they had some confidence early, but since then their youth has shown, and Dane Fisher's tried to get these guys to understand you got to play hard every game. Can't take any plays off.
Here comes Sims. Okaru. Again, Mike Okaru on fire.
Well, his teammates are looking for him. He's got the hot hand. He's playing within himself, but he's playing aggressive. That's not easy, but he's got that rhythm. And William & Mary calls a timeout, down 11.
15 points in not even 13 minutes, and 3 triples for Mike Okaru. The Seahawks flying high.
Estrada, to me, who may be the best player in the conference, not just because he's averaging 23 leading the conference, but the way he controls tempo and leads that team. And then Jalen Ray, obviously, his wingman, very good backcourt for Hofstra. I can't wait to see that versus the UNCW team.
The Pride beating James Madison in overtime, 85-78. Estrada went for 35 in that game, so they're 6-4 and in the top 4.
Coming out of that timeout, the Tribe tried to run a double screen action for Kuchera, and you know, they have not been able to score in the half court. You got to give the Seahawks some credit. They've been able to stay in front and make everything a tough shot challenge.
How about the defense of Kelly as it's an offensive foul on Okoro?
You know, when we talked to Dane Fisher yesterday, John, he talked about how hard it is to score. As you see the push off, and nice job by Rice, taking the contact, causing the offensive foul, moving his feet. He beat Okoro to the spot. But offensively, you know, Dane Fisher talked about how they struggle to get easy baskets, how they struggle to get out in transition, and how they have to have more of a premium on their half-court execution because they don't get many easy baskets. That's been the issue here. They're on pretty much a 4-minute scoring drought because they have not been able to score in the half court. The Seahawks have a lot to do with that with their defense.
What could be helpful is free throws from here on out in this first half for the Tribe, as the next foul puts the Seahawks into the penalty. Okoro to the bench with the 2 fouls. Pull up. That breaks the drought for the Tribe. Brandon Carroll.
They got good ball movement there, and they got a nice kind of sequence with Carroll coming off a nice cut.
Okoro on the bench. He's had 15. What do you look for from them offensively?
Well, this is a team that's versatile. Actually, Okoro is really the third weapon here behind Sims and Phillips. So let's see if Sims can get more engaged, more aggressive, with Okoro out.
Just great defense again by the Seahawks. It's why they're 9-1 in conference play.
Well, they fly around, and they're not big, but they're very versatile in terms of switching and guarding multiple positions.
Forn's extra pass. And an offensive rebound reeled in. That doesn't go, but a third opportunity. And they'll get rewarded with a pair of free throws.
So offensive rebounding is another strength that UNCW is trying to take advantage of. You know why? Because the Tribe were last in the conference in defensive rebounding. And in this case, they crash with 4 guys. UNCW does. It makes it very difficult to keep them off the glass.
So the CAA's co-player of the week, Shaquem Phillips at the line. And this is an interesting story, Tariq, because Shaquem Phillips was primarily on the ball to start the season. But Takeo Siddle saw that he wasn't fully comfortable. So they had a conversation. They've moved him off the ball. Jalen Sims moves on it. And players adjusting and adapting, a coach adapting and trusting his guys.
Well, it's a great read by Takeo Siddle, who knows his team better than anyone, and just understanding where each player's strengths are. You move Sims to the point guard, and it's really bode well for the team as they got out to a 9-0 conference start.
There's some early foul trouble for the Seahawks. To the corner. That is the sharpshooter, Connor Kuchera.
And the swing pass away from the defense. Kuchera, one of the better shooters on this team.
And now they give it away. It'll go back to the Seahawks as Carroll couldn't cash in.
Well, after the turnover, the Seahawks didn't pout. They just sprinted back, and their transition defense was excellent there, preventing a layup opportunity for the Tribe.
Connor Kuchera with 8 for William and Mary. He had 17 when these two teams met last year at the CAA tournament. Forns. 10 on the shot clock. Really that 6th starter for the Seahawks team. He's doubled. With 5, he's stuck. Seahawks have to heave. And a foul called on the 3-point attempt. It is on Carroll.
Nothing worse than playing great defense for 27, 28 seconds and then bailing out Sims with the foul as the shot clock was winding down. And that would have been a very tough shot for Sims to make, but Carroll just a little too close to him. Gets called for the second.
Jalen Sims, an 82% free throw shooter at the line, and he's someone who really embodies what this winning streak is all about, because last year, at the end of last season, a leg fracture forces his season to end earlier than he wanted it to. He said for his final ride, he couldn't have imagined a better start to conference play.
Yeah, and you know, he's their senior leader, their go-to guy in the clutch. And they play off of his lead. You know, he guards usually the best opposing player. He's a 6'6" point guard, and not only does he do it on the court, but he keeps the locker room together. Talking to Takeo Siddle, he's an excellent leader off the court, keeping his teammate together and engaged.
Rare 2 misses on the trip for Sims. Carroll heading to the bench with 2 fouls for the Tribe. This is Tyler Rice. Loading it up and in.
I was going to say that was great defense by Phillips, but better offense. Rice, the freshman, still learning how to adjust to the college game, but has had some big moments as a starting point guard.
And now a foul on Rice. That takes us to a timeout.
Got a good game here, and here's Rice, the point guard, trying to make things happen, controlling tempo, point guard.
Looking down at everybody. How do you keep your focus if you're UNCW?
That's a great question. And when I talked to Takeo about it, he said, look, we have a sign in our locker room that says humility. And it's about keeping a humble mindset, a hungry mindset, and not getting satisfied.
See what UNCW has been able to do today. 5 of 11 from distance. Typically the Tribe, a good 3-point defense.
Tribe staying in that 2-3 zone, trying to keep the Seahawks on the perimeter. They don't want them to attack the paint because that's what their strength is.
Here's Kochera with the left hand. Rebound to Kelly.
And Fornes did a good job of keeping him on one side and not letting him go middle.
That one goes for Phillips.
There's an explosive backcourt. When you talk about Sims, Siddle, and Okaru, those are 3 high explosive guards that can put up points in a hurry.
Versatility. It's our best trait. That's what Takeo Siddle told us earlier this week. It could be any guy on a given night. Rice probing. The putback doesn't go for White. Harvey off to Fornes. The Seahawks are rolling from downtown. They've hit 6.
Fornes is just in a really good rhythm. He doesn't hesitate. He's a guy that comes off the bench. But when the game is on the line, he's usually in the game because coach trusts him. He's got a big-time shot-making mentality.
We talked about mentality off the loss to Elon. How about the focus of UNCW on the road?
Well, this is what you call maturity. It's a team that got knocked down. How do you respond? You come back and you play your game. That's what they've done today. A couple of threes here, and first it's Phillips. That was a nice pull-up inside of 2. And then here is Jalen Fornes, the microwave off the bench, but also considered a starter.
And now a foul with UNCW. That puts them in the penalty. It's on Harvey. So we'll have a 1-and-1.
Harvey got the start today, and you know, Takeo Siddle told us, look, I have 7 starters, and that includes Jamari Harvey and Jalen Fornes, and having that versatility is what's allowed them to be so good early on in this conference play.
Phillips sitting on the front end. You think about UNCW and their pedigree. Kevin Keats. Takeo Siddle, a disciple of Keats, but how about the fact that these types of names, John Calipari, a former UNCW player, Brad Brownell, now the Clemson head coach, Frank Haith at Tulsa.
Jerry Wainwright.
Yeah.
They got a long list. They've won 6 championships, and they've had a long legacy of great coaches, and I think Takeo Siddle is the next one in place, having a phenomenal year.
It's a program with great tradition, a winning tradition. Sims a little long. An offensive rebound here. And a nifty finish for Phillips.
There's been no resistance on the defensive glass for the Tribe, and that has been a really sore point, along with the turnovers, which has not been as much of an issue today, but defensive rebounding has been a problem for William & Mary.
Lewis unable to connect. Tribe shooting just 29% from the floor. And An offensive foul called on Kelly.
Moving screen on Kelly, high up, top of the key. That was an easy call to make, but Phillips, the smallest guy on the court, just chased that ball down. A long rebound, a long shot usually means a long rebound, and Phillips makes a play happen.
Second foul on Kelly. He stays in for now, and a turnover. The 7th by the Tribe. Sims. Well, they've kept Sims under wraps in this first half. He's just 1 of 5. Tough finish for Rice.
Rice with the change of pace and a nice push off the bounce. The freshman guard has had a couple nice drives and finishes.
His older brother, Caden, at Georgetown. A lot of great backyard games growing up.
He's a big-time shooter, Caden. We've seen him play.
To the corner. What a half of three-point shooting by the UNCW Seahawks.
Yep, and it's all come off a driving kick. The penetration has been the key to causing the defense to collapse, and then guys are stepping right into the shot, uncontested for the threes.
7 of 14 from deep. In and out. And not only that, Tariq, but 4 different players have cashed in from distance. The versatility of this team is they can hold it for the final shot of the half. In the hands of Phillips, the point guard, with 7. Phillips gets on the move with 5, and with a foul to give, Rice uses it.
You know, this is a team that's so versatile with their guard play that any one of 3 guys can make a play off the bounce. With Okaru on the bench, you now have Rice and Sims, and also Harvey and Fornes. So you have 4 attacking guards that can create off the bounce.
Here's Sims. The bucket with 1. Sims. And that'll do it for the first half. UNCW takes their largest lead of the day into the locker room. Coming up on AT&T 5G at the half, we will head to the studio to join Brent Stover, Chris Walker, John Rothstein, and Seth Davis as they cover a busy day of college hoops. That's the CAA. In the final 20 minutes, what is it?
Well, they got to guard the 3 better. They cannot allow low buys and drive and kick shot opportunities for the Seahawks.
Okaru keeps on rolling up to 18 points.
Right on cue. The Seahawks do exactly what I just said that William Mary can't allow. Another driving kick sequence, dribble penetration, the defense collapses, and Okaru steps up to knock down the big-time corner 3.
And now a turnover, and here they go on the run. It's Sims. He's fouled.
And that's when they're at their best, scoring off their defense, getting out in transition, and playing their tempo. And we talked about this early on. The Tribe struggle with turning the ball over. And here's that 3 ball by Okaru. Starts with the driving kick. Lewis helps off too much. And Okaru makes him pay. And here's the transition opportunity and the foul by Carroll. And if you're Takeo Siddle, you got to be really happy with the way you've come out in the second half.
A 3rd free throw miss by Sims, who is 82% from the stripe on the year. But you're exactly right, Tariq. The way that they have come about this game mentally, you could sense the difference as Sims continues his woes today between experience versus the fact that the Tribe are learning. They're the 14th youngest team in college basketball.
Yep, and no one's going to feel sorry for them, and Dane Fisher knows that. You know, this is a youth movement kind of year for them. They're playing hard, they're getting better, but they can't allow themselves to have those lapses because teams are going to come for them.
Over the back foul on White, his 2nd. Well, and that was something that, when talking with Takeo Siddle, he brought up. He said the first thing that stands out to me is William & Mary is not a 5-18 team. They are 4-6 in this conference, and they have played very, very hard as the season's gone on.
Yeah, and he even talked about first getting them to know what it means to play hard. And when you have young freshmen and sophomores, sometimes you think you're playing hard, but you're really not. And so I think he's turned the corner with that. Now it's just being consistent with it, bringing it in and game out.
Shaquem Phillips up to 8 points and 8 unanswered for the Seahawks.
Well, the Seahawks are real comfortable right now. They're not feeling any pressure. They're playing at their own pace.
Rice, there's White on the cleanup.
Nice job by White attacking the glass, and he's been quiet. They need him to be a little more assertive on the glass and in the offensive half court when they play through him in the pinch post.
His first made field goal. Now off the dribble, it's Harvey. Silky smooth.
So the shot fake was just right on point. Create some space to get away from the defender, and the defender, Lewis, did not stay on the floor. He bit on the shot fake, and that was what allowed him to get a free shot.
Penetration and one for Brandon Carroll.
Well, the footwork and the strength by Carroll, who's clearly the strongest player on this William & Mary team. Nice step through and finishes with the contact.
Brandon Carroll is so much more than just a basketball player. As Coach Dane Fisher calls him the epitome of a student athlete. He is pursuing his MBA right now, William & Mary. He's already got a job lined up and wants to go to law school.
Yeah, they're very proud of him and the way he represents the school. And as you said, he's got his future already lined up, and I believe he wants to go into law. Impressive young man.
Rice has range.
This is a team that's not going to give up. And certainly a lot of time left and starting to get some rhythm. Rice has been pretty solid in this game, scoring the ball and controlling the game as a point guard.
7 points for Rice, but they battle right back to the Seahawks. It's Okaru again. And a timeout called as Mike Okaru has 21 points, 5 triples. Monday night. John Fanta, Tyreek Turner back here with you. Kaplan Arena, the site of this CAA affair. And, well, Mike Okoro sure likes playing inside of Kaplan because he is one shy of his season high with 21 and already has a season high 5 three-pointers.
Well, the basket's real big for him, and he's just stepping right into his shot and not hesitating. And he's been like that the entire game, and really just the team is fed off his energy.
Cochera, that's more like it for the Tribe.
Cochera is a guy that needs to continue to be aggressive. They need him, one of their top scorers, versatile, 6'5" sophomore, and he's got the talent to be a consistent scorer for this team.
His third three. Left wide open as there's a member of the Tribe. Hurt. Yes, Carroll down in some pain. So Horns cashing in, and not a good sight to see Brandon Carroll, a veteran presence on an otherwise young team.
Yeah, I hope his ankle, I hope it's not an ankle, because it looks like he might have sprained it. But this William & Mary team, the second half, we watched the play here. I think it was his left ankle. Or his right ankle, I mean.
Brandon Carroll, a Bronx, New York native transferring from Florida Southern. It's his third stop. And somebody who Dane Fisher said to us earlier this week has been a godsend to this team with just the way he represents not only the program, but the school.
He's a model student athlete. You can see he's a physical specimen, but he doesn't want to be known as just an athlete. He wants to be known as someone who is going to go on to have a successful career off the court. And he's one of their leaders. No question about it. Hopefully he's okay. Good to see him walk off on his own power. But this William & Mary team has come out as a different team in the second half, John. They're 4 or 5 from the field. And guys are stepping up.
And a holding foul before the inbound. It's on Akaru, and that is Mike Akaru's third foul. So with Carroll heading to the bench, that presses Yuri Covington into action with Lewis, Rice, Cochera, and White on the floor for the Tribe. And for the Seahawks, it's Phillips, Baker, Akaru, Harvey, and Sims, their starting five.
Nice cut.
Rice is fouled.
Good ball movement by the Tribe, and Rice made a nice cut off a cross screen and draws the foul. William & Mary starting to execute a little better, and it starts with the ball movement, taking care of the ball. And
UNCW Seahawks holding a double-digit lead on William & Mary, and Mike Okoro continues to be the story with 21 points. Takeo Siddle's team came ready for this one.
Well, Takeo Siddle's an impressive young head coach, and only in his second year, but really this is like his first year, because last year was a shortened year because of COVID. And, you know, he's talked about transitioning. He was an assistant coach for a few years at UNCW before he became a head coach, so he knows the program. The program knows what he's about. They know his character. They know his work ethic. But as a head coach, he's talked about making that transition and not just being a head coach, but also being like a psychiatrist, a life coach, a mentor to these young men and trying to help them develop off the court. And, you know, he's really excited about his staff and gives his staff the credit for why they've gone on this great run, 9-0 to start the conference, because everyone from the trainer to the Dobo to the coaches to the assistants have played a part and all have been really connected.
Drive in the bucket.
That's just too easy. You know, there's been no resistance by the perimeter defenders of William & Mary, and all day, Phillips, Sims, in particular, have been able to get into the paint.
Shaquem Phillips with a dozen after he was in single digits against Elon, and now a shutdown at the cup. Fornes has it. He was asking for a timeout, and they got it in. So the Seahawks calling for time. Their defense has been on point this afternoon. A look at the historic month of January, the first unbeaten month of January in program history for the UNCW Seahawks, part of a 12-game winning streak, a record.
You know what's interesting about that, John, is 6 of their 9 wins were comeback wins, were comeback wins of more than 10 points. What that tells me is this is an older team that doesn't get down when they have a little adversity, and their coach is really the leader, but their team and Sims being the leader keeps them locked in, keeps them organized where they don't get down if they have a deficit.
A win over Drexel was one where they were down by 18, but never did they get phased. 6 on the shot clock. Now with 3, it's off to Fornes. From deep, the 10th triple of the day for the Seahawks.
Well, they've just shot the ball extremely well, and they have a lot of guys that can step up, but Fornes really looks comfortable off the catch and shoot, no hesitation, got great form, and elevates right over the top.
Third Seahawk into double figures as Cochera answers. He's 4 of 4 from distance.
Cochera, as we talked about, just a sophomore, got a lot of upside, double figures for the 6th time in the last 7 games, averaging over 14 points.
Fornes again. Rice knocking it down, his 2nd triple, and he's into double figures.
He's played well, and he's played poise. He's shown some poise. He's made some big shots, and got to be excited about the future of this program when your starting point guard is just a freshman playing the way he has today.
At the age of 3, Tyler Rice was dribbling with both hands, and his dad said, "What are you doing right now?" And he said, "I want to learn to dribble with both hands at just the age of 3," as the threes continue to rain this afternoon.
That's pretty impressive at the age of 3, John. And his older brother surely has something to do with that. Caden Rice, who's a big-time player, a big-time shooter at Georgetown, transferred from Citadel and one of the best three-point shooters in the Big East.
Cochera will head to the line for a pair. William and Mary, 6 of their last 6 from the floor and starting to find their offensive mojo.
Well, they've gotten more organized in the half court. They've got better spacing. Guys are cutting harder. And Cochera has been one of the catalysts in this second half with his shooting. Last year's conference rookie of the year. Exceeded 20 points in 4 of the last 8 games, Connor Cochera did. So if you're Dane Fisher, you got to be excited about the future of this program with so many talented young players, particularly Cochera and Tyler Rice in your backcourt.
Plenty to be excited about. And Cochera might be listed on the roster as a junior, but even that does not tell the story of what he means from a leadership standpoint for this team, and has really grown into that role.
He's one of the more vocal leaders on the team. I'm talking to Coach Fisher. He said that he's one of those guys that's not afraid to speak his mind and always positive.
Carroll back on the floor, by the way, off of that rebound. And that ankle pop up earlier in this half as Rice is rejected, shut down by Phillips. Now a burst of speed from Phillips. Sims, Okoro to Forns. Inside to Kelly, perfection with ball movement by the Seahawks.
The ball movement was great, and the defense shifted a little bit too late, but the penetration and the overhelp by William and Mary made it for an easy finish.
Jalen Forns with a new career-high 7 dishes. Carroll, the answer.
Good to see Carroll back on the court.
Hey, the Tribe have shot 5 for 5 from deep in this second half.
That's the way you can get back in the game if you knock down a few of those. Still a lot of time left.
Within 12 is the home team. Phillips off the dribble. Oh, UNCW has it going on no matter the look.
Well, he knew he had the mismatch there. Hatton is just not able to stay in front, 6'10". The foot speed wasn't there, and Phillips just picked his spot and created some space with the step back.
Now Phillips with a steal. Up ahead to Sims. He will head to the line for a pair after our timeout. The threes flying inside Kaplan Arena on a Super W. Averages 7 threes a game. Today already with 11, they've made 6 of their last 9. And how about the difference between 2s and 3s?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very telling story. When I talked to Takeo Siddle about their last game versus Elon, he said they got out of character and took 33s, which is not what they want to do. A lot of those were contested shots. Today they made an adjustment. They're not taking contested shots. They're taking good shots off of dribble penetration. That's a good adjustment that Takeo Siddle was looking for today.
14 assists on 24 makes. And Okoro and Forns have combined to go 9 of 13 from deep, and that's why the Seahawks lead by 16. John Fanta, Tyreek Turner with you for CAA action, part of a loaded Hoops Saturday here on CBS Sports Network.
Nice ball fake by Cochera.
White willing his way to the basketball, counted in the foul for Ben White.
Good to see White get a nice offensive putback, working hard in the paint. Not the strongest, but he's put on a little bit of muscle and a little bit more aggressive this year than he was last year, was determined to get that ball. And knew he was going to get hit, but good concentration to finish.
At the third foul on Kelly. So we talk about William & Mary's youth here, Tyreek. 13-point game. You are at home. Still a lot of time on that clock. What's the approach?
Well, you know, you're not going to get it back at once. You got to get stops for one, and you can't turn the ball over.
Sims off on the three, and here they come. Cochera, he's been hot today from deep. White in isolation. Ball fake. Working the foul, and he'll go back to the line.
That's where he's really good, in that pinch post elbow action as a passer or as a playmaker. Nice footwork here. You see the patience, the up and under to get Kelly in the air, and he draws the fourth foul on Kelly. That's a big foul for him. He's their five-man and has done a pretty good job defending White today, but with 4 fouls, he may have to either come out of the game or back off a little bit, not pick up that fifth.
And he does come off the floor here. Takeo Siddle makes the move. So Kelly to the bench with 4 fouls here, and important to note, 10:18 on the clock. He's a lone player with the 4 fouls.
And that was I like that read by Dane Fisher to call a play for Ben White one-on-one to draw that 4th foul on Kelly. Good action.
So it's Forns, Phillips, Baker, Okoro, and Sims on the floor for the Seahawks.
There's a little Horns action here. The high ball screen, trying to get some penetration.
10 on the shot clock. Here's Forns, and he lost the basketball.
You know, William & Mary's changed their defense there. They dropped into a 2-3 zone, but it looked like a man. Kind of a chameleon defense there, but thought that kind of confused the Seahawks and may have had something to do with forcing the turnover.
Just the first turnover this half by UNCW. The door cracked open for the Tribe. Cochera. Here's Okoro. Okoro kicks off to Forns.
Beautiful basketball. Okoro split the defense and got into the paint and caused the defense to collapse. Over help on Forns, and Forns makes him pay with another 3.
Forns and Okoro have combined for 10 trifectas. Now some pressure here, and they just break through. And a foul on Phillips. Think about that. At the rim, other 2-point shots. They've been hot for pretty much the entire day. Difference in shot selection from the Tribe to the Seahawks.
Well, shot selection is so important, and if you're taking good shots, it just makes your pace a little bit easier. And the Seahawks have done a really good job of drawing and kicking all day, getting in the paint off of dribble penetration, causing the defense to collapse.
Well, you see now, again, the Seahawks are in the penalty, so free throws from here on out for the Tribe. And it's back down to 13, just over 9 to go.
Well, you got to be impressed with the way William & Mary has come out in the second half. They're a different team. They're more efficient. They're getting better execution in the half court, and they've got multiple guys stepping up. Lewis, Cochera, and White in particular.
Sims. Now it's in the hands of Forns. Okoro. Back to the Tribe it goes.
Tribe still trying to get this game into single digits, but they keep getting stops. Or if they can go on a string of getting multiple stops, they give themselves a chance.
That's what they did in the win over Elon last weekend. White to the cup.
Nice job, screen and rolling. That's another thing that White has really improved on. Rolling to the rim hard and catching and finishing in traffic. He wasn't that kind of player last year.
And again, with Amari Kelly on the bench with 4 fouls, it enables White to get going as Phillips is fouled by White. His 3rd.
Well, Phillips is a relentless driver. He's the kind of guy that if he has a jump shot but he thinks he can get to the rim, he's going to get to the rim. And he's been able to use that quickness, the foot speed, as he knows that Aisa couldn't stay in front of him. Good recognition by Phillips.
He is one of 6 children. It's a busy backyard growing up, lots of competition, and out of South Central High School, won a 4A state championship as a senior, a 30-1 record. Grew up in Winterville, North Carolina.
Had some adversity last year, too. Played only 2 games last season because of a leg infection. So certainly excited to have him back for a full healthy season this year.
That's the unique thing about UNCW, and also a reflection of preseason polls and how random they can be with transfers now. You can't totally forecast how teams are, but this team, this program went through so much adversity last year, a limited number of conference games. There was an unknown of how they would be, and they're 9-1 in this conference. As that one goes for Lewis.
Nice job by the freshman, Julian Lewis. We've seen 2 outstanding freshmen in William & Mary, both Julian Lewis and Tyler Rice, with bright futures, have made some big plays today.
Extra pass to the corner. It drops, and the hot three-point shooting continues. It's Harvey.
Yep, and it's been multiple guys, and Harvey joining the party. Got to start today and making Coach Siddle look smart by stepping up and making big shots.
Rice can't connect. And it will go back to the Seahawks.
Jamari Harvey, the sophomore, getting the start today. They call him the X Factor because he does a little bit of everything, but shot making from the field. So you see a gradual improvement. That's what you want to see.
Taking a look at today's game summary brought to you by AT&T 5G. The headliner, UNCW with a season-high 13 threes. And Okaro threw it to Takeo Siddle.
Yep. One of the few turnovers by Okaro, and other than that, he's played pretty much a perfect game. Just his first turnover of the game.
Just his first turnover.
Good ball movement by the Tribe.
And a foul called.
Now, out of timeouts, the Tribe, they run good sets, and they're trying to get some ball reversals and some good cuts. And here you'll see a nice curl by Kuchera, a little slip by White, and that's a 2-man action between probably the 2 best players, White and Kuchera, making a play.
Back to the basics for the Tribe really in this second half after White just had the 1 point in the first.
Well, you want to see a response, and we've seen that no matter what happens today. You see the fight and the resilience by the Tribe, and Ben White, just a sophomore, 6'9". You can see the versatility. You can see the upside there. And Kuchera also very talented in his own right.
Now some pressure from the Tribe. Bourne's alley-oop! And a jam by Baker.
The ball didn't touch the floor. Everything off the pass. That's how you beat the press. I think there was 4 passes and a perfect lob for a dunk.
It's a UNCW team. This is a little bit of new territory for them in terms of up by 14. Their average margin of victory in conference play has been 5.
Yeah, and the Seahawks have been really impressive. You always want to see how a team responds off a loss. Well, they have responded in a really positive way.
Falling to Elon and really a frustrating performance. They have answered from distance today. That's Sims' second 3, making 14 triples.
They continue to share the ball. Making the extra pass has allowed them to get better looks. A big difference from their last game versus Elon, where a lot of those were contested.
This has been a bounce back in a big way by the top team in the CAA. Carroll with the left hand.
Carroll has been solid all game, and you can see why Coach Dane Fisher is so high on this young man and what he brings to this team as a leader.
Carroll with a career outing today. 10 on the shot clock for Fornes, into the hands of Sims. And it'll go back to the Tribe.
Here's a great press break and the skip pass and then the lob. Textbook play on how to break the pressure. There was no dribbles, it was all off the pass.
This is really not something that's happened often in conference play in this league this season. Entering today, 34 of 49 games in the CAA decided by single digits. Tons of drama this year.
Yeah. It's a very tightly played league. A lot of great players, a lot of good coaches.
Sims blocked. Fornes on the cleanup.
And you may even say that this is maybe UNCW's most impressive game from start to finish in conference play.
Possession arrow with the Tribe. Well, and it's the type of game where it could serve as a trap. UNCW's lost their last 8 games at Kaplan Arena. They've struggled in this building. But today, you're 9-1 in your league, and you have an opening where Towson fell earlier today, a chance to get some cushion, and they've done it. Yeah,
and it's been balanced. It hasn't just been one guy. It's been multiple guys that have stepped up. They basically play 7 guys.
Carroll with his third 3 and a timeout called. We will take 1-2. Less than 4 to go. Lobos at 8 Eastern. We cap off the evening in California when Loyola Marymount heads into St. Mary's territory. Catch all the action right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports, and you can catch Justin Bean up next. What a performance that he has been putting up time and again for Utah State.
Well, the numbers speak for themselves. Just look at him, 56% from the field, 18 points. He's a double-double guy, and really has kind of elevated himself to one of the top big men in that conference. Very good conference, by the way. Boise State, Wyoming, a lot of good teams, good coaches.
Colorado State with a great win last night. It's been a dramatic week in that league. Phillips. Everything seems to be falling for the Seahawks.
Well, he may be their best one-on-one player, especially off the bounce. He's done it all game, living in the paint, off the dribble. He's very good.
3 players with 16 or more for the Seahawks. Driving the bucket for Covington, his first points.
Covington's been quiet, but they're very high on him off the bench. He's a spark plug, a guy that can score, can play the 1 and the 2, and is just another good ball handler for the Tribe.
UNCW has shot 70% in the second half.
Sheesh.
And William & Mary has shot 65%.
If you like offense, this is the game for you.
And if you like Mike Okoro, this is the game for you too. A season high 27 points.
He's been great. I mean, he's been pretty consistently dominant all game long from the first play of the game.
What a day for Okoro. 7 of 9 from 3, and this building, it's pretty quiet because the first place Seahawks have made a road statement. Fornes, an exclamation point, and a 16th 3.
They may not shoot the ball this well again, and I would understand that because this has been phenomenal, but the way they've shared the ball and stepped into their shots and really kind of put their last game behind them when they lost to Elon has been really impressive. The threes have been falling from all parts of the court. The ball movement has been excellent, and the Tribe has just been a step too slow in terms of rotating and closing out. They have not been able to get a contest that's slowing down the Seahawks.
If you're William & Mary, you said it earlier, Tariq, nobody's going to feel bad for a young team. That being said, you couldn't have prepared for this type of barrage, a 16 of 29 mark from three-point land. On Thursday night, they went 9 of 30.
Yeah, and like we talked about, one of the focal points of this team for Dane Fisher was to make them take contested twos. And they just weren't able to do it. They have not been able to stay in front. They have not rotated well enough, and the ball movement of the Seahawks has been a little bit too much.
Barnes with 9 assists. Career day for him with the 9 dishes. He's fouled. 16th foul by the Tribe, their last to give.
If we were in the NBA right now, the team would know that Fornes needs one more assist to get a double-double, and they will find a way to get him that last assist. It's called stat padding.
Let's see if they do it. UNCW team will be in action Monday, 5 Eastern time at Hofstra, right here on CBS Sports Network. What a big game it will be. Tons of great guard play.
Yeah, can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Okoro! Are you kidding me?
That sounds like 30 for him.
That it is. 8 3-pointers. A career day for
two-way player, not just a scorer. Big-time defender. Gives them some energy picking up full court.
And you can sense he gets in the weight room.
Yes.
Rice. With 51.9 ticks to go. Go back to the Seahawks for this William & Mary team. They'll drop to 4-7 in league play after a really nice start. You take another look at Okoro, his career high 30 points. William & Mary will be at Towson on Thursday before traveling to James Madison and then heading to UNCW on Valentine's Day. So it gets no easier.
No, it does not. That's a testament to how good this league is from top to bottom. Anyone can be beat, and there's not a lot of separation from the top team and the bottom team.
Just look at Northeastern over Towson today. Baseline J goes. As White knocks it down, and both teams going to their benches here as we get to the final seconds.
It's been a fantastic performance for the Seahawks with a new record, 17 threes, season high for the UNCW Seahawks, and that tells the story right there.
Tying the record with those 17 triples. 13 of which have come from Fornes and Okoro.
It's not bad. Jalen Sims, the senior leader and leading scorer, has been relatively quiet, and he's fine with that because he doesn't have to carry the load. This is a very balanced team.
How will we handle Life is the Hunted? How will we handle bouncing back? UNCW answers those questions in resounding fashion with a 22-point win. After this, we'll wrap things up from Kaplan Arena. The Seahawks move to 10-1 and stay at the top of the conference.
Interview, guys. Who are we going to do interview with? Hang on. Who do you want to do the interview with? Number 4. Okay. Yep, he's number 4. It's right there. Yeah, if that's what you want, we got it. He's going to get him right now. Okay, I'm going to put all the headsets on number 4. Stand by. Camera's right back here. Right here. Here. You're looking right here.